Have you ever been in a situation where you had to put down one of your pets because they were sick or ill? Well, I think that humans should also have the right to choose that for themselves. Assisted suicide has been a major dispute for a while. The law says that it is illegal. However, is that an obstruction to your free will? I will also be discussing why euthanasia is a good thing and should be legal because I think that a person should be able to choose to live or die if they are terminally ill or in chronic pain. After studying this subject, I have a better understanding of both sides of the argument, and my opinion did not change. Even though the subject may not be applicable to the young crowd, I think it's a very good thing to study. I will be talking about the legal issues and the medical ethics that surround this subject. Then I will talk about the medical expenses and how religion comes into play. Since assisted suicide does involve medical personnel issuing the lethal drug, it can be viewed as the personnel murdering the patient. Many say that patients do not have a sound mind to make these kinds of decisions. However, how is this any different from taking someone off of life support? If someone is not mentally capable of making this decision, then I think that a family or a loved one can make this decision for them. Many people think that the longevity of life can be lengthened by medication. However, if you are hooked up to a machine or on medication all the time, that is no way of living. For example, Dr. Kevorkian was one of the first doctors to administer a lethal drug to one of his patients that was ill. His patient was a quadriplegic that could not physically commit suicide, and he asked his doctor to do it for him. However, the Supreme Court ruled that if a patient cannot physically kill themselves, then they do not have a right to make that decision to ask a doctor to do it for them. The law gives us the right to commit suicide because it is one of our basic rights. Due process protects that law and our individual rights. This means that not legalizing euthanasia is basically an obstruction of the Constitution. Along with legal rights, it is also a cheaper way to do it in the long run. Euthanasia costs about $40 to administer the drug. However, if a patient is kept longer, this increases their medical bills and other medication that they have to purchase. People with pain or discomfort may have to be in a hospital for a long time. And if they would rather be more individualistic, then they may go into a hospice. This means that they can live outside of the hospital but still have the care of a doctor or a nurse. This can add up to about $100 a day. Along with legal prosecution, religion also has a big say in whether justifying euthanization is right. Christianity view euthanization as a sin because they think that life is a gift from God and should be preserved by any means. However, Universal Unitarians see that killing yourself or choosing the right to live or die is a personal right and should not be dictated by law or religion. Euthanasia can be easily justified even though there are many groups that dispute it. The law can be contradictory on the subject because it is a person's right to decide whether or not they want to live, but it is also seen as murder. Euthanasia is also beneficial in many ways in that the patient is out of pain and that it is also cheaper. A moral obligation may stray people away from killing themselves or assisted suicide, but why would anyone want to put someone through that if they love them? Remember, if you put your pets down to avoid their suffering, why would you do that to a family member? Thank you.